My beloved brothers and sisters, kindness is not merely an action. It is a reflection of the purity that resides within your heart. When a heart is filled with mercy, it naturally extends compassion to others. You see, when you help someone, you are not doing them a favor. You are doing yourself a favor. You are cleansing your soul, softening your heart, and earning the pleasure of your Creator. The true beauty of kindness is that it doesn't depend on wealth, power, or status. Sometimes, a warm smile, a gentle word, or even a silent prayer for someone can be an act of kindness that changes a person's day. Or even then, my beloved brothers and sisters, kindness is not something that you simply perform once in a while. It is a character that grows within the heart. It is a sign of a heart that has been softened by remembrance, purified through humility, and guided by the light of compassion. When you extend kindness, you are reflecting the state of your inner self. If your heart is filled with peace, you will spread peace. If your heart is filled with mercy, you will spread mercy. The one who carries goodness in their heart cannot help but show it in their behavior, in their tone, and in the way they deal with others. We live in a world where people are often judged by how much they own, not by how much they give. But in truth, the richest person is not the one with the most wealth. It is the one who gives from the heart even when they have little. You don't need to possess treasures to be kind. You just need a pure intention. A smile costs you nothing, yet it can lift the burden of someone who feels unseen. A word of encouragement may take seconds, yet it could revive a soul that's been drowning in despair. That is the beauty of kindness. It multiplies without losing anything. True kindness is not selective. It does not depend on how someone treats you. It flows because it comes from within. When you help others sincerely, your own heart becomes lighter. You feel a joy that no amount of money can buy. This is why those who give, who care, and who forgive are always at peace. Their happiness is not tied to people or possessions, but to purpose. They find joy in being a source of comfort to others, and that is a special gift, one that brings the pleasure of the Almighty. Sometimes we forget that kindness is a form of worship. Helping someone in distress, guiding someone who is lost, forgiving someone who hurt you. All of this is beloved to the Creator, because when you are kind to His creation, you are honoring Him. Every time you choose mercy over anger, compassion over cruelty, and generosity over greed, you are raising your spiritual rank without even realizing it. The one who spreads kindness does not only beautify their own life, they beautify the world around them. You might think your gesture is small, but its ripple can travel far beyond what you imagine. The person you comfort today might go on to comfort 10 others tomorrow. The one you help stand up today might become a pillar of strength for someone else. That is how kindness spreads. It starts as a spark in one heart and becomes a flame that lights the world. So, my brothers and sisters, let your heart be that light. Let it shine through your words, your actions, and your prayers. Be gentle even when others are harsh. Be understanding even when others are impatient. The reward for kindness does not lie in people's hands. It lies with the one who sees it all, even the smallest act done in silence. And when you give from the heart, He never lets it go unrewarded. My beloved brothers and sisters, many people underestimate the power of small acts of kindness. They think that unless they do something big, something visible, something that everyone praises, it does not count. But in truth, it is often the small, sincere acts, the ones no one sees, that carry the greatest weight. A simple word of comfort, a moment of listening to someone who feels alone, a sincere prayer for a person in difficulty. These things may seem small to you, but they are enormous in the sight of the Almighty. He knows the tears that never fall, the smiles you help others wear, and the burdens you quietly lift from their shoulders. Every day you have countless opportunities to make a difference. It doesn't always require wealth or status. Sometimes it's just about presence. Be there for someone who needs you. Be that voice of reassurance when the world becomes too loud for them. You don't need to fix every problem. Sometimes just showing care is enough. You never know whose heart is breaking behind a brave face. You never know how close someone is to giving up. And perhaps your few kind words could give them the courage to keep going. When you offer kindness, do it sincerely. Do not expect anything in return. Not thanks, not recognition, not reward. The moment you expect something, it stops being kindness and becomes a transaction. True kindness is silent, pure, and selfless. It is done only for the sake of goodness, and the Almighty records it even when no one else notices. Sometimes your kind gesture will be forgotten by people, but it will never be forgotten by Him who created people. One of the most beautiful things about small acts of kindness is that they create a chain reaction. When you show compassion to one person, it softens their heart and they pass it on. A small smile to a stranger can start a ripple of goodness that touches lives you will never meet. Imagine being the reason why someone regains faith in humanity, or why someone remembers that goodness still exists in the world. That is true success, not fame, not power, but leaving behind traces of kindness wherever you go. My brothers and sisters, kindness is not measured by size, but by sincerity. Feeding one hungry person, visiting one sick person, forgiving one mistake. These are not small things in the eyes of your Creator. The smallest seed can grow into the tallest tree, and the smallest act can lead to the greatest blessings. Never think that what you have to offer is too little. Even a drop of water can quench a thirsty heart. Even a kind word can heal a soul wounded by cruelty. So continue doing good quietly, sincerely, consistently. Let kindness become your habit, not your occasion. You might not be able to change the entire world, but you can change someone's world. And when you do, you will realize that every act of kindness, no matter how small, is an act of worship that echoes through eternity. My beloved brothers and sisters, it is easy to be kind when people are kind to you. It is easy to smile at those who smile at you. But the real test of character comes when you are faced with harshness, when people wrong you, when kindness is not returned. That is when your sincerity is revealed. True kindness is not about how others treat you, it is about who you are deep inside. When your kindness remains steady, even in the face of coldness or rejection, it shows that your goodness is not dependent on people but on your connection with your Creator. Many times in life you will meet people who will hurt you, who will misunderstand you, who will take your goodness for granted. You may feel tempted to close your heart, to stop caring, to stop giving. But remember, when you choose bitterness over kindness, it is your peace that suffers first. You cannot control how people treat you, but you can control how you respond. When you choose patience over anger, forgiveness over revenge, and compassion over pride, you rise above the negativity. You are not being weak, you are being strong enough to protect your peace and your faith. Kindness, when not returned, becomes a greater act of worship. It means you are doing it for the sake of the Almighty, not for appreciation. Each time you hold back harsh words, each time you help someone who once hurt you, each time you choose to pray for those who wronged you, you are building your character and earning unseen rewards. You may not see the result immediately, but the peace that fills your heart afterward is a sign that you did the right thing. The Almighty replaces your pain with strength, your tears with tranquility, and your loss with spiritual gain. Do not let the cruelty of others change the goodness within you. The world needs your kindness even more when it lacks it. The coldness around you should not freeze the warmth in your heart. Continue to greet with a smile, to speak gently, to help others, to forgive, to wish well for those who never wished well for you. These are signs of a heart that is guided and elevated. Remember, every time you are kind when you could have been harsh, you win a silent battle, one that only the Almighty truly sees. My brothers and sisters, keep your intentions pure. Do good not because others deserve it, but because kindness defines you. Do good because you seek the pleasure of the one who loves those who are merciful. And never think your kindness goes unnoticed. Even if the person you help forgets, the Almighty never forgets. Every act of goodness you give returns to you multiplied, at the right time, in the right way. So keep extending your hand, keep spreading goodness, and keep being kind, even when kindness isn't returned, for that is the mark of a noble heart.